photos from one music fest. I've been a while since I went to a music fest, and I forgot you need to bring your battery pack. So make that a survival kit item when you go to a concert, festival, whatever. Make sure you bring yourself a mobile battery pack for sure. I didn't bring one. Phone died. Wasn't able to get any pictures, any video. Was out there all day. All of the above. So yeah, you can hit me up there on Twitter. Definitely look me up there. And lastly, I'm on Spreaker. Again, the show will be airing Wednesdays at 12 o'clock after the Doug Stewart Show. If you got a smartphone, get Spreaker. Download the Spreaker app. Again, it is speaker with an aura. Let me spell that for you. It is S-P-R-A-E-A-K-E aura. Spreaker.com. Look up the Doug Stewart Show. Look up the Marcus Harper Show, Marcus Harper Podcast, Sports Talk with Soul. Look that up. And again, Doug has a whole plethora of shows, a bunch of unique shows, all on his Stewart Media and Entertainment Network channel. So definitely check it out. Unique Internet Radio. Shouts out to all of them. All right, now that that's all out of the way, let's get to this football. Week 1 is in the books. And rather than make a declaration about these teams, this is the no-reach zone. We won't be doing that after week 1. But I will say this. Being 1-0 sure beats the hell out of beating 0-1, right? Sure beats the heck out of being 0-1. I don't care what it is, fantasy, survivor pools, FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever you're affiliated with. It's sure feels good to be 1-0. But don't gloat. I got to be honest. Don't gloat. Because all that 1-0 did, all that did was cover up all the stuff that stinks on your team. For sure. I think it was Charles Barkley that said winning is the great deodorant. That's why this week's show is called The Little Things. There was not a discernible difference between a majority of these NFL teams this week. As far as offense, defense, special teams, there wasn't a discernible difference. But the one thing I will say was the little things. Literally, it was the little things that were a difference in a lot of teams winning and losing. There were 9 games decided by one possession in week 1. There were 6 games decided by less than a field goal. So yes, the little things matter. That's why this week's show is named The Little Things. Everything counts in a football game. I saw some dropped touchdown passes. I saw missed throws, missed tackles, missed blocks. All these things, and they're game-changing. These things end up being game-changing. Watching the Falcons game in particular. We will do our Falcons 5 at the end of this segment, definitely. But they panned to Roddy White. He was at the game. And one of the things I always think back to was Roddy White on Hard Knocks. And it was one of the rookie receivers in the practice. They're doing, closing out. Offense got to get a touchdown. Stakes is high in the practice. Rookie wide receiver ran the route, made a nice little move. Matt Ryan throws a beautiful ball, but he drops it. And he was covered in the whole 9, but Roddy pulled him outside afterwards and said, hey, man, you have to make that catch. That is the difference between you eating steak and you eating McDonald's, fam. It is really that simple. Do you like steak? You really like steak, it's the little thing. You gotta make these catches. If not, if you don't make the catches, it's simple. You will be eating McDonald's. It's the little things, I promise. All right, let's touch 32.
Touch it, bring it,
hey, yo,
pay
sis,
it,
I don't think they ready for this.
Turn it, leave it, start format it. Touch it, bring it, pay it.
Hey, yo, let me take their ass back to the club real quick.
Touch it, bring it, pay it. Watch it, turn it, leave it, start format it. Touch it, bring it, pay it. Watch it, turn it, leave it, start format it. Touch it, bring it, pay it. watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it.
Yes, it is back. The segment inside the segment that is the best segment in all of podcasting. That is right. Touch 32. We will be touching on all 32 teams in the NFL. Let's get straight into it. I want to start with the game that got the 2016 NFL season kicked off. That was the Carolina-Denver game. Denver won the game 21-20. Trevor Siemian got his first victory. Props to him. The Denver defense was on Aqua Cam's head. If you don't know, Aqua Cam is Cam Newton. Check out last week's episode. Give out nicknames around here. But the Broncos defense was on Cam's head. And I do mean literally on his head. The Broncos were taking headshots at Cam. Leaping and lunging headshots at Cam. Clearly trying to decapitate Uno for sure. And shame on Gene Tessitore, I believe he was the referee. He loves to talk and tell you stories when giving you penalties and what just took place in the game. He loves to get on the mic and talk all day. But they missed a bunch of clear headshots. They were lunging at Cam's dome. And the concussion protocol and all this other stuff, that is just a big distractor from how are the refs missing these calls? I don't understand that. I don't understand how they were doing that. I clearly expect the NFL to fine the players that did that. And if you want to clean up the game, the headshots, the concussions, different things like that, you need to start issuing flagrant fouls. And if the flagrant fouls are egregious, issue flagrant twos and get them out of the game. That was bad. I put that squarely on the officials as far as cleaning that game up. Again, I expect fines. Carolina, you get San Francisco in week 2. San Fran beat up on the Rams Monday Night Football 28-0. Gotta be honest, I fell asleep on that game. Rams offense is tough to watch. San Francisco, I'll learn more about you this week when you play Carolina. I think you did this the year before. You beat Minnesota, and then reality kicked in for the rest of the year. So, see, better measuring stick this week again against Carolina. Denver, you were a Graham Gano missed field goal from being 0-1. So, again, don't gloat. But one thing I will give the Broncos credit, and I don't think I've done this enough, they have a recipe for winning. And they do a very good job of sticking to the script. They believe in running the ball, playing defense. They have a blueprint that is their formula for success. And damn if they haven't been successful. They won a Super Bowl. They're now winning. Won the first game. But, again, they have a blueprint. They have a map, a winning formula, and it works for them. Denver will get a very good test in week 2 with the Indianapolis Colts coming to town. I think that'll be a good one. Indy is coming off a loss. I wouldn't say they blew the lead. They didn't even have the lead in the game. They're coming off a disappointing loss to the Detroit Lions. And the reason why I say disappointing, and they lost 39-35, by the way, in week 1. But for the Colts, it's different toilet, same-ish. And it's not the way you wanted to start the year. Again, talked about it all last season, talked about it all off season, talked about it heading into this season. What is the defense going to do? And how is the defense going to improve? And you go out there and you give up 30-plus points in week 1. Again, different toilet, same-ish. Matter of fact, there are a handful of teams you can put in the different toilet category. If you just look at them from last year to this year, hasn't much changed. Washington still out here trying to outscore teams. Even with the addition of Josh Norman. They gave up 38 points on Monday Night Football. They lose to the Steelers 38-16. Big Ben and Todd Haley were exploiting the Breshad Breeland matchup, and Washington did nothing to counter it. D'Angelo Hall was a step slow on some plays. And again, it's the little things, though, that step slow cost them touchdowns. And the little things, the little things. Missing spots, being a step slow. Speaking of being a step slower, Jets fans, this isn't breaking news. We talked about this last year. But Darrelle Revis is now a half step slower than he was the half step he was slower last year. That's got to equal at least a full step now. And the ball player of the week, A.J. Green, for sure. 12 catches, $180, 1 touchdown. A.J. Green for the Cincinnati Bengals. They beat the New York Jets 23-22, by the way, on Sunday, week 1. A.J. Green was 10 for 10 on Revis Island. Yeah, he was beasting off the Riesling on the Revis Island. And, Jets, different toilet. Is it just me? Or even with the Jets not having Coach Rex Ryan, it seems like they're headed down this path. This 9-7, they're going to win some games, and you're going to be believers. You're going to be like, oh, they've turned the corner. But they're headed down this path. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic, he's going to do what he does late. Again, different toilet, same. Speaking of Coach Rex Ryan, brought him up. Buffalo Bills fans, 7 points on the road to open the year. Lose to Baltimore 13-7. Defense holds the Baltimore Ravens to 13 points. Offense. And just like last year, Rex Ryan's team's, again, different toilet, same-ish. I will say this, the Jets and the Bills, they do play each other. New York travels to Buffalo Thursday night, 2 0-1 teams. Desperate, you can say that a little bit. Different toilet, same-ish bowl. We'd probably call it that game. Be very interesting to see again. It just feels like the Jets and the Buffalo Bills Buffalo's destined for 8-8 again. Baltimore, you get Cleveland in week 2. Browns fans, brought you up a little bit last segment. Again, different toilet, same old. Got protection issues. Wide receivers not helping out the quarterback. Defense not getting any turnovers. You faced a rookie quarterback in his very first start. You would think on GP you would get 1 interception. Didn't even get that. Lose your quarterback in the process. Like I said, if the season keeps going this way, silver lining is, hey, Deshaun Watson 2017. That's all I got for you. Saints fans, I wish I could take you out of this category, but different toilet, same issues. Well, the defense, let's talk about that game. Saints lose to my Raiders 35-34. Saints let the Raiders score 22 points in the fourth quarter, 3 touchdowns, and the go-ahead 2-point conversion with 47 seconds left. Coach Jack Del Rio is the coach of the week for sure. Gutsy call going for 2, but I was all on board. Texting back and forth with your Raider fans, and I don't know what are we doing. I was all on board for going for 2. You went down to the Bayou to get a W. I think there's a rule that says at home you play for the tie, on the road you play for the win. But again, you went down to the Bayou to get a W, and mission accomplished. And it was, hey, and Raiders fans, it felt good. But I think more importantly than the call and all of the above, if my Raiders are to return to glory, return to greatness. I think that's the motto this year. Return to greatness. If we are to return to glory, greatness. Yeah, you have to get victories. Can't go down there and get ties, go down there and play close. No, you have to give victories. Greatness victories. So props to Coach Del Rio, Coach of the Week for sure. Felt good to watch Crab snatch that ball out of the air.